Hello, I'm here. Hello, everyone. It is so good to see you. And as you can see, I was on time and got in no problem. I'm looking a little tired today, but that's okay. I am tired. It has been a busy few days. So, number one, I'm getting ready for my Myrtle Beach quilt party. And let me spell that out because with my pronunciation, you might not get it. Hold on just a second. Hello, quilters and chatters. It is so good to see you. So, Myrtle Beach, where I'm going, Myrtle Beach quilt party. And myrtle is a type of plant that grows really good at the beach because it's got little tiny leaves. And it's not the crepe myrtles. It's a different kind of myrtle bush. But they have it in that area. Oh, look at Susan. Oh, man, she's fast. Hi, Nikki, sweetheart. So, I have been a busy girl. And, I've been trying to prepare for this quilt party. Monday, I went in and had mammogram time. And ladies, if your technician says, tell me if it hurts, please tell her. I don't know why, but we try to be all polite and act like it's no big deal. Well, when I finished with my exam, it was the first one that ever was really uncomfortable. She was stretching me in ways that I'm not supposed to be stretched. I'm not Gumby, okay? And she kind of kept saying, if I hurt you, tell me. Well, I thought it'll be over soon. Just be tough. Don't whine, all those stupid things women tell themselves instead of saying, ow, that hurts, or please don't pull them that hard. So I noticed after I had my mammogram and I went back in the cubicle to change my clothes, I looked underneath and it was really red. I got home and I told Mark about it. He looked under there and he said, there are little tiny tears, like stretch mark kind of tears. So I went to the bathroom to wash in there. And oh my God, it hurt so bad. I did have broken skin from being pulled and stretched so much. Now, I want to tell you two things. Number one, it has never been that uncomfortable. It's never been more than, okay. This one hurt. I was pulled too hard, tugged too much, and I'm in a low risk category anyway. So there was no reason for all that pulling and tugging. So please, your body, you might be going to them for a mammogram, but you are the boss. You're paying for it. Your insurance pays for it. When they say, if this hurts, or even if they don't say it, say, ow, please, you're pulling too hard. I will not make that mistake again. I want to empower myself and I want to empower you. These are our bodies. Nobody has the right to hurt you, no matter what the reason, unless it's a valid reason that you agree to. So when I went to send you a little survey, and I said, I take responsibility. She made sure to say, if it hurts, tell me. I didn't. But she needs to be more careful because there is no reason to pull so hard you tear skin. So luckily, they were just tiny little tears, and they've healed. I was very careful to keep medication on them. But please, if you go in for any procedure and it's hurting, tell somebody. And if they won't listen, stop it. Say, I'm out of here. We need to learn to speak up for ourselves and stop being so polite. And that's one of my problems being raised in the South. It was always, be polite, be polite. No, this is my body. So that is my little lecture for today. Next time I'm going to kick somebody. So hello, everybody. You know what? You're right. Why did she keep telling me, tell me if I hurt? Because I'm not using her again. I'm remembering that name. That name is burned in my brain. I'll find somebody else or a new place. but I've never had it hurt like that. And I happened to look and it was like 25 pounds of pressure on my girls. That's bad enough, but to yank them up so high that you're tearing skin, that's ridiculous. So we won't do that again. So in fact, I probably should call the place and say, in case you didn't read my, because I gave them all glowing. It's a nice place. I gave them glowing reviews everywhere, but at the last paragraph I put a hello. But I think maybe I better make it a little bit more, bring it up, So we cover quilting and real life here. And one of the real life things is we have to have our boobies squished, and sometimes it hurts. So, and it shouldn't. So don't let them do that to you. But anyway, but I'm learning. In fact, I need to tell y'all something. I remember back when it was in 1996, and I was working at the museum doing costuming, and I got very sick. I got a cold that just didn't seem to want to go away. I was in the shower. I looked down at my feet, and my toes and toenails were blue. Well, that means you're not getting enough oxygen. And I thought, I don't feel good. And so I went to the doctor, called him and said, I need to come in. And I told him when I got there, I feel like I'm dying. Okay. When your patient says, I feel like I'm dying, listen to them. Okay. And he said, hold on just a second. It was getting a little warm in here. I had to turn on my fan. Okay. It's 60 degrees. Yesterday was 68 degrees here. It's January. But anyway, so I went to the doctor. I'm sitting on the table. I'm telling him I feel awful. I feel like I'm dying. You know what he did? He prescribed Xanax and sent me to the pharmacy with a paper bag because I was telling him I feel so nauseous. I feel terrible. I feel lightheaded and all this. He prescribed Xanax. So I went to get that. And while we're sitting out in the car, and I said, no, I'm not feeling good. This is not anxiety because I read the bottle. We went back and I said, look, you don't understand. I feel like I'm dying. So he went ahead and took my temperature. I hadn't had that thermometer barely in my mouth when I said, I'm throwing up. And I threw up. And he said in just that brief moment that thermometer was in my mouth, it read 103.5 degrees. He said, you need to go straight to the hospital. I'm like, you think? Got to the hospital. I had 105-degree fever and double pneumonia. I am sitting in the emergency room, and I'm more passed out than in. I don't even remember the whole next week. I was in the hospital with double pneumonia. And when I went back for my checkup with him, I told him if I had been a man, he would not have prescribed Xanax to me. That he needs to listen when a woman says she feels like she's dying, because I was dying. So I'm fearsome today. But anyway, just remember, women, you're so valuable to me, to your families, to your friends. And don't let anybody give you the bum's rush. You demand what you need. That was in 1996. And when he realized how sick I was, he didn't know if it was Legionnaire's disease or what. I was in the hospital for a whole week and have no memory of it, because when your fever gets that high, it starts damaging your brain. So maybe that's why I'm still the way I am. But I tell you what, I should have known better than when I was at the mammogram the other day. So just remember, let's be tough. Oh, honey, I got some more stories. I'll tell you another day. I got more stories than that. So, hello. It's great to see you. So I had my mammogram done. Then what else did I have done? I was supposed to take the dogs to the vet Friday. Well, Mark drove up in the driveway Thursday, and he had been telling me his car was acting up, but I didn't know how badly. He would go to turn left into a busy intersection, and the car would die. Now, his car, I just sounded real Southern the way I said that. His car would die. His car would die, shut off. And Oh, sweetie, I'm so sorry, Vicky. Gosh, that is terrible. And it scars your lungs. And so you have to be careful for the rest of your life because you're a little more delicate. That's when I found out I had asthma. My whole life, I never knew I had asthma. But anyway, they said, do you know you have asthma? I said, that's why I've been passing out. But anyway, so he'd pull into an intersection, his car would shut off. So he said, I'm gonna stop by the auto place because I think I've got a radiator leak, but I don't know where it's leaking. I keep adding stuff in. So he stopped by and he got this last ditch because his car is 19 years old. And so he got this radiator stop leak and these other things and came home and he's trying to put it in and trying to start the car and something's still going wrong. He checks his car oil. He said, it's not supposed to look like chocolate milk, is it? Realize somehow he has a crack in his block or a major, what do you call it? When you have to put in a seal, like his main seal might have given away. So we realized we had a moment. We said a little prayer, little thanks, and said, it's gone. It's bitten the dust. So, but at 19 years old, it didn't know us anything. So, hello, Michelle. So anyway, oh, that's sweet. Yeah, Jason around Akko. So Akko is here. Yay. So anyway, to make a long story short, I called the vet, said, can we bring him in Saturday? Thursday night, I'm on the computer until 1 a.m, putting in car loan applications, and went to CarMax because that's where I love to go. I do not buy new cars. I let somebody else pay the depreciation. And so Friday, we found a car, but it was 2 hours away in Raleigh, which is the capital of North Carolina. And I said, well, can they send it to this CarMax? And she said, well, it'll be sometime Monday or Tuesday of next week. Well, I'm going to Myrtle Beach. So I said, okay, we'll drive to Raleigh. Hi, Michelle. Mark's car died. And I feel so bad for him, because, I'll get to it. Let me finish telling this. So we go up to Raleigh and we check this car out. And, I looked around and thought, I really love my car. My green Monster was a Honda Odyssey, and it's 18 years old itself, but it still runs beautifully. But I've been getting more and more nervous about driving it for long trips because it is an older car. But Mark was so sad. He had to grieve because instead of driving a Sebring convertible that he's had for the last almost 20 years, he was going to have to drive a Honda minivan to work. And for a 62-year-old man, that's a big pill to swallow. You know what I mean? So I was like, oh, I'm sorry. I am so glad to see all these names here. Hello, Tiffany and Nadine and Melinda B. Hi, sweetie. And Vicky and Susan, of course, and Nikki. And, oh, this is great. So anyway, Mark said to me, okay, I know I have to drive the van. It makes sense, and because that's still got plenty of good life on it. And to buy a new car for the long distance driving, and for me when I'm alone, because, I am an older woman. I don't want to be driving something that I have to worry about. But he said, but Deb, I'm taking off all the quilting stickers, the quilting license plate, the little Elmo doll you keep over your little mirror, your rainbow little bracelet you keep on the mirror, and I'm taking off the Be Kind stickers. So I said, okay, you can do that. So I've already ordered all my new stickers because I'm putting Be Kind back up there. I'm putting all my quilt stickers all over it again. So anyway, that's what my days have been like. And so Friday he took off work and we went up to Raleigh. We left here at 9 a.m. And because of rush hour traffic in the afternoon, we got home at 6 p.m. But I went in there. I told the man, I said, the last time I bought a car was 15 years ago when I bought the old van. And I said, we want it like we want it. So we saw the car, and it had, it's a 2016 Honda Odyssey. And it had somebody had rubbed the edge of the front bumper on something and had kind of rubbed through the paint. And I said, nope, that bothers me. And then I looked inside, and it's like, it's not clean. It's not clean enough. And so he went and talked to his manager and came back and said, give us an hour and a half. We'll fix it. And they are so good. So I got a 2016 Honda Odyssey minivan because Mark even said, Deb, they make such sense. He said, I'm not tickled to drive them, but he said, with all of your retreats and your classes you go to, you need to be able to pack up all your sewing stuff. And, nothing does that like a minivan. And it's easy to manage. And so it had 27,000 miles on it. And I got one with electric doors because with my arthritis, it's hard to open a, side door of a van. What happened to Vicky? Did she get hurt? Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, Vicky, that was a nice birthday present you gave him. Vicky, you're so cute. You're happy? Yes. I don't know what your husband's name is, but happy birthday to him. And Marcia's back. Hello, Marcia. So, and Sonia, sweetheart, I've been wanting to write you. Please understand, really busy. So, otherwise, though, I'm keeping going on. We're plugging away and plugging away. Yeah, luckily there were no baby on board stickers, but he's out there. He's just scraping away, and they're not going to have any political stickers on it. No. So I told him, honey, do whatever to it makes him feel better. And as I drive away Tuesday in the new one, yay. And I got to tell you, my old minivan was kind of like a pickup truck. The doors kind of clanked, like a truck does, and didn't have a lot of insulation, didn't have a lot of padding, nothing fancy. It was a utilitarian vehicle. This new one, it's kind of nice. I got to admit, it's kind of nice. Yeah. So anyway, I hate having a car payment. I've never really had a car payment in my life. I've tried not to. We used to, back in my former life, we used to buy older cars, and and the minivan that I got when I first came up here, because I got the house, I paid cash for it. But this time we have a car payment, but we got it down as low as we could, and all that scrimping and saving, we got a great interest rate. So, and we put down enough to keep that payment low. It'll fit right in my Social Security payment. Oh no, more family members passed away? Uh-oh. Yeah, you never have to worry about me driving now. I think I'm in good hands, not driving with an 18-year-old car. But you know what? On the way up, I was riding in it, realizing it's not my car anymore. I started crying. I restarted my life with that car, and it's meant a lot to me over these last 15 years. So, yeah, thank you, sweetie. And it's one of these dark gray minivans. Minivans come in a dark red, dark blue, dark gray, silver, and white. That's it. Those are your choices. And so it was dark gray, and I went, okay. Anyway, so I hope that didn't bore you too much. I do have pictures to show you with it. I do. So in between all this, and the dogs are fine. Oh, Marty, yes. Oh, and the great aunt passed too? Oh, I'm sorry. Let's all keep Diana Wright in our hearts. This is tough. And you know what? January, they say, is a tough year for that. But I'm just glad Marty's dad's not suffering anymore. He's been sick for a long time, guys. But we'll definitely keep Marty and Diana in our hearts. Okay. So, Patricia Fry, I need to write you. Patricia, now you know why I haven't answered your email, because it's been crazy around here. But I finally did get to go see Knives Out last night. Love that Jamie Lee Curtis. Oh my God, she's so cool. So anyway, but glad to see you, Patricia. Patricia and I, you guys want to be jealous? Patricia and I are going out to lunch one day. Yes, we are. Yay. So, because she lives down near where I will be. So we're going to hit the vendors at the show, and then we're going to grab a bite to eat. So isn't that exciting? So anyway, I have to write her and tell her, because I'm thinking, Patricia, save me. Does Wednesday look like it'll be okay for you, Patricia, darling? Because if we think Wednesday will be okay, we can do lunch. And I've got to find out what time the vendors open. So... Oh, I think we should. I think we should do a little live chat with her. We'll have to figure this out. So I'm hoping she's going to take me. There's this one quilting shop I do like down there. I don't know. It might be too far away. But wouldn't that be fun to have a live stream with Pat? That would be great. She would have to bring 1 or 2 or 3 of her quilts to show you. Maybe we could do it in my hotel room. That would be fun. So I've been a busy girl. I told you about the quilt that I was doing, and I showed you what some of the pattern, what the pattern showed, but I've got a better picture of what I'm doing. Let me see. What did I do with the instructions? Hold on, sweeties. I've got, everything is here. And you know who I'm hoping we'll see? I'm hoping we'll see Tanya today. I am so thrilled with the job she did last week. So I'm trying to encourage her to get her own camera set up and get going, because she is cutie pie and smart and really good. So I'm making a quilt at Myrtle Beach Thursday and Friday. You get a choice when you go to this. In fact, we'll be talking about, yes. And we're going to be, you get a choice of doing a 3-day class, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, but I get too bored sitting in one class for 3 days. So I choose to always take 2. So it'll be a Thursday, Friday class, and then the Saturday only classes are a little more straightforward and simple. So for my 2-day class, I chose the Urban 9-patch. And here's the picture they sent of the quilt. And I'm taking it because I like the curved piecing. I have done very little curved piecing, and I'd like to try to do more. But look at the picture they had for the class that really caught my eye. This is the one right here that caught my eye. It has plenty of spaces to do decorative quilting. And I thought, oh, wow, that would be wonderful. And I love how they have the dark gray as that accent color. Mary's there. Hi, sweetie. So, but isn't that a neat looking quilt? So, and then I thought I did like the rainbow colors too. I thought, well, that's neat. But I thought I want to make something like this. So I think I told y'all, but this is the picture I couldn't find last weekend when I wanted to show you. But I think I told y'all that I used some fabric that I bought from Pineapple Fabrics. And I don't know if y'all remember when I bought this, but it is a very deep, deep, dark teal. Very deep, dark teal. And I thought, I'm going to use that instead of dark gray. And then I'm going to use bright white for the background. So I've got, and you notice, these are all my pre-cut pieces. The things I've pre-cut to get ready for class. They're in this bag. Then I'm going to be taking another bag over here. Is Bonnie here yet? Yes, she is. This bag is going to be all the extra fabrics because when I go to a class, I don't just bring what I cut out. I bring the fabrics my main fabrics, because there are probably other things I'm going to need, or if I make a mistake, I can go back to the other fabrics. So make sure you carry the fabrics you've pre-cut and additional fabrics of that in case you need it or make a mistake. I wanted to stop. There's a new card up here in my cards because Miss Bonnie sent me a present. And boy, she had no idea. I needed a little pick-me-up this week. 2 very soft, lovely kitchen towels with flamingos. Is that awesome or what? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go ahead and wash them. And then I'm going to put them in the minivan and take them on my trip. So these flamingos, we're going to party. And you know where I got the idea of flamingos? The Myrtle Beach Quilt Party uses flamingos as their representative, as their mascot. That's where I started doing the flamingos. And then y'all have just cemented them in my heart. So I love that. Thank you, Miss Bonnie. That is what a sweet thing. I love my Bonnie. Oh, and you know my big old mug doesn't fit in the new car. I've got to figure that one out. But anyway. But I love that mug because I can fill it up with ice and water and go for a long time. Yes, I love those flamingos. I will be taking them. In fact, I have flamingos everywhere. Isn't that cute? This used to be on my key ring, but it finally broke off, I think. But anyway, you can see them all in the background. And my beautiful quilt that Cheryl Lemon gave me, and then the beautiful quilt that Nadine made for all of us. So, yes, we have a very generous lady who we love dearly. And that's Miss Bonnie. So now, and Mark, if anybody watched the Thursday landscape, I want to apologize. Mark had tried to fix my camera because the camera's like a little brick. And inside it had a screw that was made of plastic. Who puts plastic as a screw inside a camera? So it just totally, who needs surgery? Oh, no. And so, yeah, I might have to do that. So he took and he got, reamed out the plastic screw because it lost all of the threads because it was plastic. And he found a nice brass little short screw to put in there. And he put it in there with hot glue. I didn't think it would work, and it didn't. And so when I was doing Thursday's landscape show, the screw popped right out of the camera. And so I'm sitting there doing the rest of the show, trying to show how to sew and hold it and show the quilt and hold it. It was a mess. But you know what? I just keep going because honestly, this is not a high budget production. And we just carry on. So, and that's what I was telling Tanya. If you want to do your own show, don't worry about having to be perfect. There's no such thing as perfect. So anyway, so I'll show you what I've been working on, but let's hope that this camera works now. Mark tried 2-part epoxy, did not work. So it's right now working by super glue. We hope that's going to work. So anyway, all right. Oh, and you know what? I had a really cool screensaver from Microsoft that showed the country that all of the pink flamingos winter over in. But this is what I've been working on. Okay. Let me see. I think I'll scoot back just a touch. These are half square triangles. And I had cut out 50 3.5 inch blue, the dark blue teal squares, and then 3.5 inch white squares, 50 each. Now I have 100 half square triangles. So yesterday I stitched all these together. Now I do not draw the line down the back. If you are a perfectionist, you are probably going to want to do that. But I hate trying to put this on a surface and drawing it and then see how the fabric wants to pull up. Oh, I hate that. I hate it. So what I do, now I understand it may not be quite as accurate, but Deb has a whole different view of what's acceptable. I take and bring the two of the corners together very close. See those corners? I get them right in line. Then I lay it down on the ironing board and I kind of just check and see how my corners are going to do. And I iron it. Now, you think, well, that's not that quick. I do 4 to 6 at a time and press them. And then when you open this, you see that beautiful crisp line? So this would go on top of the dark blue because you can see this so easily. And then I put my little sewing machine foot on that has the little 1/4-inch metal kind of guard. See how this rides? This little piece right here rides along the 1/4-inch. So I put it so this 1/4-inch foot just ran right along that line. So I sewed 1/4 of an inch on either side of the two fabrics put together. And then I did all of them. Then last night I took a pile of them upstairs and they would have been together like this. And I don't know if y'all remember, but when I would cut up between them, I'd come in close to the stitching line here, cut across, and then go back towards the stitching line. Because what I do is that cuts off the bunny ears right at the same time. No two-step process. And so I did on this side, cut close to the seam, run up, come back close to the seam, then that cut this apart, and then I just angled these ends. And that way, when you open them up, no bunny ears. So bye, Tiffany. It was nice seeing you. So I finger press them. In fact, I did so many last night. This finger was a little sore because I would finger press them really good. That way, when I got down here, it was just that much easier. Then when you open them up to press them, watch this. Don't go in like this. Most people want to go in like that. But if you do, you can stretch that fabric out on the bias. So what you do is you line your iron up parallel to the side. So don't go in perpendicular, go in parallel, and then just run across. See that? And that keeps it from distorting. Because, look at this. You see how much stretch is in that? And now look at it. It's all wavy. It's because it's stretched out. So I'll just go back in, line it up, parallel, just slide it across. No scrubbing, no rubbing. And I have steam on. I love my steam. So I still have these left to do. And after I finish talking and we're just chatting, I'll finish these up. But I sit upstairs in the chair at night, cut them all out, finger press them, and it's nice. I can watch TV, talk to Mark. Then I have to take them, and let me tilt this down. So then I have to take these and put them on my little cutting mat. Luckily I have this little portable cutting mat. And then I took my 3.5-inch ruler. They want me to trim these down to 2 3/4. See? So 2 3/4. Well, the easiest thing to do is put some masking tape or painter's tape at 2 3/4 and 2 3/4. Then I just place this. You see the diagonal line? So I just place this on the diagonal line. And you know what? That one looks like it came out perfectly. Now, Michelle and I both are very fond of making these. Jamie's here. But the nice thing about this is Michelle and I both like making them a little bigger and then cutting them down. Oh my goodness, 3/4 of an inch half square triangles. Whoa. Wow. But by cutting them down, then you can get them very accurate. So anyway, looks like I'm pretty much right there. I'll show y'all. Well, this one's just a little bit, maybe just a hair bigger on each side. If I lay it close to that tape, yeah, just a little bit. So let me show you how I'll cut that up. And I line it up with, I will line it up with this thing and go down to where I just see the bottom of it. And that shows me, let me see if I can get y'all in a little closer. Okay. This shows me that I need to trim off a little bit here. Whoops, forgot to open my cutter. Okay. Now I'm going to take and turn it around 180 degrees. Set this back on here, line that white up with this bottom tape line, line this up here. Okay, so that's good. Now I'm going to turn it just 90 degrees. Whoops. Let me see. Hold on. Because this line I drew on is not accurate. But this one is. So let me see. Okay, I think, well, I'm just going to have to, okay, yep, right up here. It just needs a little trim. But it helps if you've got, now I drew these two lines on, and this one, if you see, starts and stops a 1/2 inch away. This one continues all the way through. So what I need to do is draw another line. Although I did this for a reason. I wanted it to go, yeah. So anyway, I need to do a new marker line across this way and come right in here. But anyway, so I need to go along. And what I'll probably do is take this up tonight, take this little board, and while I'm watching TV, I'll go ahead and square these up. So after I iron all 100 of them, then I'll square them up upstairs tonight. But this is stuff, it's good to get done before you go to class, because you do not want to be sitting in class trying to do this when everybody's moving on ahead. So when the teacher gives permission for us to start ahead, I do it. I listen. So, and I am going to take you with me to the retreat, so don't worry. So now I'm doing that, but that's not the only thing I'm doing. Okay, where are my blocks? Come on. I thought, oh, here they are. Okay. So, hold on just a second, y'all. I'm trying to move this camera without stressing it because I don't want it to fall off again. Okay, it's what happens when you make stuff on your own. It's like, oh, not always does it work. Okay, so what she's going to get us to do, make 25 9-patch blocks. So I've been working on those because she said that way we'll take our class time and she'll show us how to use the ruler. That's what I didn't show you. But my daughter-in-law, we did a gift exchange at Christmas, and she bought me the ruler. So it's the Quick Curve ruler. And I know y'all were talking about there's some kind of Quick Curve mini. So that's cool too. So anyway, here's my Quick Curve. The neatest thing about this pattern, let me show it to you one more time. Hold on. Okay. When you look at the pattern, it looks a little spooky. That's a kite shape. How do you make that? It's a curved one. Well, the good news about this ruler is you make 9 patches. Then you put the ruler on the 9 patch and whoosh, cut it out. So I'm very excited about that. So she said if we wanted to jump on this, we could make the 9 patches. So I, of course, can't do anything the normal way they showed on the pattern, using white squares for the lighter color in the 9 patch, the center cross. I fussy cut fabric. So, oh, okay, good thinking. Okay. I love reading what y'all are talking about, but see all these different, aren't they cute? I saw this fabric. Now, what I didn't realize at the time is it mimics the quilt blocks with the curves. Look at that. It mimics that. So, but I saw this fabric because you always look for a focus fabric, something that gets you excited. Look at this one. So I saw this and went, aha. Well, you know, it's in my favorite color family. And I've been doing the Jenny Beyer, the last 2 block of the months I did in all those colors. So I went to my Jenny Beyer bags of leftovers that I no longer need for those block of the months, and I rated it for colors. Now, it's going to be all different color, lights and darks. You just happen to see me pick one light and pick which ones are the darks we're going to go with. But these then will be cut with that new ruler, and they'll come in on, each side. So I only made 3. I thought I made more than that, but I've got 3 of the 25 made. Now, I'm going to show you the colors that I'm using. So let me tilt this down without breaking it. Mark said, Deb, be careful. So I'm trying. Okay, hold on. All right. Okay, so right here are the 3.5 inch cornerstones of the blocks. Then I need light colors. Okay. Now these, I thought, well, the center blocks are 2.5 inches. Why am I cutting all these 3.5 inches? Well, that's because you need all the outer blocks to be bigger so they can accompany that curve, when you cut that curve. Because if they were the same 2.5 inches, oh, thank you, sweetheart, Nadine. I'm trying to stay focused because I'm leaving Tuesday morning and I got to have all this done. But anyway, so what the pattern says was to cut these. Without paying attention, cut them all 3.5 inches. And it said, no, these are to be 2.5 by 3.5. And so that way it'll fit on the 2.5 inch center, but it'll be tall enough for the cornerstone 3.5. So anyway, don't want to confuse you, but the center pieces are 2.5 by 3.5, 2.5 by 2.5, 2.5 by 3.5. And then you'll come in here with this and so you'll put this one up here and then put this cornerstone and then this one here. And then you'll come down here again and put this here and put this here and this here. Okay, so do you see how I did that? And then that will equal something similar to that. But I am making it a very eclectic color, kind of controlled a little bit, but still eclectic colorway. Everything from the pale turquoises to the dark ones, through the greens, gold. So that's what this is. And I absolutely love these project boards that I made, these project containers using the dollar store boards. I think when I get back, I'll do another little tutorial on making these because they're lightweight. See how lightweight? But sturdy. I mean, they are sturdy. So that really helps me. All right. So I've been busy on that. Now, they have a yard sale day. Pardon me. Every evening you have your classes during the day. And the classes run from 9 to 12:30 and then or 9 to 12 and then 1:30 to 4, something like that. Then you have a good long dinner break, and then every evening there's an activity. Wednesday night they do teachers show and tell. Thursday night they have a big yard sale. Anything you want to sell or give away, come and do that. Then on Friday night, they have a student show and tell. Saturday night is the banquet and the student show and tell, so that the students can show what they had done in the evenings after these classes. So I decided, since I didn't sell many of my pin cushions at the retreat, I know, I have nothing better to do. I decided to take my pin cushions to the yard sale. But I said, oh, darn, the necklaces really sold the best at the retreat. So I quickly ordered some new glass cabochons and bezels, the little trays, and some more of the necklace lacings. Then in the evening, when I'm not sitting at my sewing machine or cutting board, I rushed through all my quilt magazines and looked for good pictures that can be put in the necklaces. And I made 40 brand new necklaces so that I can take these to sell. So I sell them for $3 a piece, and I think they're fun, and it gives me a little sewing money. And I'm going to need sewing money now because I got a car payment coming up. But I think I did some really, let me see if I can show some of them. This one I love. It says Dream. But I think I did some cute ones. And no, I don't often sleep. That is the truth. Mark gets on me. It's like, Deb, you're burning that candle at both ends, honey. But these are now made, so all I have to do is grab my pin cushions and grab these, and I'm ready. So, okay, I talked about all of that. Now I have another class. I have a class on Saturday. And I thought I'd show you how good I'm doing cutting out the fabric. Haven't even started on this one. What am I going to do with me? So, I looked it up, and I'll show you the quilt that I'm making for that. Yeah, okay, good. So when I get back, we're going to make another tray because I love them. And if you tilt the outside arm, if you tilt this outside arm just a little bit, they stack on top of one of another. So you could stack up 10 of these on just a corner of the table and go through and have whatever project all laid out in there, because I don't know about you, but I don't like working straight to finish on one project. I tend to skip around. So also, Bonnie found this for us online. It is Love Supreme Quilt. So let me see if it there. Does it have a Fort Worth Fabric Studio? Fort Worth Fabric Studio. This is precious. I can't wait to try this. And evidently it's going to make, I think it was like a 45-inch quilt for Valentine's Day. So, yeah, 45 by 45. So it just started recently. So go to Fort Worth Fabric Studio and get your free copy. Thank you, Miss Bonnie. I have the hiccups right now. Anyway, this is the quilt I'm doing on Saturday. Oh, you didn't get to see the new kitchen? I'll show you. Oh, I haven't put up the kitchen video. Sorry, I got a little distracted. It's already made. I just have to put it up. I'll do that tonight. So I have to cut 42.5-inch squares of 8 fabrics. I have to cut 10 rectangles of 1 fabric, 20 rectangles of 4 fabrics, 30 rectangles of 1 fabric, and 200 2.5-inch squares of 1 fabric, and then 7 width of fabric cuts for border. I'm not sure I'll get to bed tonight. So here's that one. And luckily I ordered from the Fat Quarter Shop. I ordered this fabric. I got $36 for this. I wish you could feel it. It is, I think it's 20 fat quarters for $36. And that's great. That's less than $2 a fat quarter. So, and I love all the colors. This time I didn't feel that creative. When I looked at the quilt, I thought it's a little complicated. So I'm going to do what she does. And I think I'll like it. So I ordered a half a yard of each of these so I'd have enough of that. Because I noticed, when I looked at it, I noticed there was a lot of blue. And, you know, I love my blue. So, all right. So I've got to cut this out. And then I went ahead, I looked at the fabric to get a hint out of what kind of background do I want to use. So I picked this one out of my stash. And here again, it was from Pineapple Fabrics. Bless them. And you know what? It really pays to stock up on your backgrounds. Because that way, it's easy to go grab something like this. But then you just go through the backgrounds you have on stock and see which one, you know. So I told Mark that's what I was doing, and I think it was a smart plan. But, okay. So, now, oh, good. We've still got time. So now, I've got to pack my clothes, and I write lists. Lists are the only way I get ready to go to a retreat. Yeah, just I know I should. If I can finish these other things, I might just start cutting or sewing. I'm charging my camera. There's all these little things you have to think about before you go out of town. Mark checked all the new car fluids in the tires, charging my phone, charging my camera, charging my Nook, you know, and then when I pack my laptop, taking all the chargers, I've got to tell you, at our retreat in November, a woman packed her sewing machine and forgot to bring her foot paddle. Please do never make that. Yes, I do. I will put a checklist on, I'll put a checklist on our group's IO because it is so important to write a checklist. Now, I always keep this tote packed. And you can, whatever kind of tote you want, you can, I got this one back when Sears was still in business for $13. And it's a tool carrier. And I love it. I love it. But then I got this at a retreat. And it's not the pretty color, but it's one of those Yazzie bags. So these are the 2 bags I keep ready to go. Yeah, clean underwear is a good one. That reminds me of my mother. My mother was obsessed with clean underwear. You know, don't do anything without clean underwear. So I'm just going to look through this bag to see what's in here. But this is the tote I'm taking with me. Now, if I were going to do sewing in the hotel room, which I've done in years before, when I go to a retreat, I would take things to do in the evenings. But this time, I'm tired, okay? So I'm not going to take any sewing projects to work on in the evening. But what kind of things do I take? I'm getting ready. Pardon me. I sneezed. Okay, let's show you what I take in this tote. All right, and I haven't packed it yet for this time. So I might take some things out, put some things in. If you ever see one of these, please get it, especially if you ever get warm in an inconvenient place. But let me show you. See this? Watch. I love this thing. Quilters are hot stuff. But I love this. It's a little fan on a little metal springy thing, and it fits in this little pouch, and I highly recommend them because they come in handy when you're in the least advantageous place. All right. Oh, that's right. I picked this up off of the giveaway table at the retreat. Put it on your wrist. I'm going to take this up to use it when I'm on the long arm. All right. Packet of tissues. Good thing. I'm going to leave this out. I have this. I forget what I know what was in this. YLI, little spools of thread. But I wind a ton of bobbins in the colors I think I'm going to use. Then from Walmart, I'd gotten those little hair scrunchies, little tiny hair scrunchies I put on there to keep them from unrolling. But I go to the class with pre-wound bobbins. Class time is not a time to wind bobbins. All right, here are my sewing machine accessories. Everything I need. All the feet. Night-night, Nadine. Thank you. It's so good to see you. Oops. Then, you won't believe, I have to take my little mascot. I'll be taking him. All right, let's see what else I've got in here. I have got one of my rotary cutters, but you know what I do? Before I put this back in the tote, I'm going to sharpen the blades or put a new blade in. Oh, yeah, I know what this is. My business cards. I took and decorated that box. I take masking tape and or painter's tape, fray check, extra glasses. You never know when you're going to lose or break them. I take all assortment of pens. The Micron. I have Sharpies. I have, let me see, here they are. I have friction pens. I have sewing machine cleaning brush. I have all kinds of pens, pencils, you name it. Hand lotion. Trust me, you'll need it when you're spending a lot of time in classes that have a lot of heat and dries out your skin. Let me see. One of my ring pen cushions that I made. And I am going to start an Etsy group to sell these because they're so cute. I love Diane 57's picture of her using hers. Hand sanitizer, very, very important. Monday afternoon, I got my flu shot too. And because I thought, I'm going to be around 1,000 ladies, not the time to, get sick. So take that. Little nippers, these are great. We get such little table space when we go to this quilt party. And so small little scissors I can grab and trim very easy. All right. Then basting pins. I just take some safety pins in that. I love these little Altoid containers. Now, I have no idea what this is. More sewing machine feet. Great. I forgot. I got to label that. A little flashlight for walking back and forth to class at night. A rainbow bracelet. Let people know I'm a compassionate person. Darn it. Another pair of glasses and a necklace. Glasses necklace because I have to have mine hanging around my neck at all times. Okay. Here's a little glue pen. It's great for when you're either doing paper piecing or you just want to make sure you get a really good seam. Put a little dot of that on before you sew it up. It's great. A pair of little socks in case my feet get cold. My Jenny Beyer Perfect Piecer. Another nice little 3.5-inch ruler. And you'll notice, so now in this thing, I've got these 3 rulers. I think it's very important. They fit in here, and that's wonderful. This must have fallen off of one of my name tags. That's the Jenny Beyer stained glass star. So I'm going to leave that out and do something good with it. Pencil sharpener for the pencils I have. This is for earbuds that if I listen to anything on tape. Here is something to hold my scissors around my neck. I've got different kinds of, I forgot what these are called now, but they hold your fabric in as you're getting ready to sew it. Let's see. Here is for hand sewing, eyeglass cleaner, different color specialty threads, which I don't think I need for any of these, so I'll take those out. Face powder. Never can look too good, ladies. And extra bobbins. And batteries, because sometimes I take battery-powered little fans, or my little player. Here's a little package of Crystal Light, in case I get tired of drinking water. I just pop that in. So, okay, so that's what I have in here. In the ends of this, I have lots and lots of spools of thread. Oh, I forgot this one. This, too. Here are some hand needles in that. And I have a wooden iron. And it's right and left. I'm left-handed, so I hold it this way pointing up. And that way it's angled just right. But I love these because it keeps you from having to jump up and down all the time running over to the iron. So, and then I have a seam ripper. A good sharp seam ripper with case. Little scissors. All right. This end, I have a whole bunch more threads. Now, I'm going to take this out. I'm just taking neutrals. I'm taking beige and gray. That's all I need at these classes. All right. Now, let's see. In the front here, I have Thread Heaven. I have a little screwdriver for my sewing machine. Here we go. I thought I did. Here are packs. One pack is for old blades. One pack is of new blades. I have the glow tape if I need to put it on my ruler. Okay. Get that bobbin ready. I've got a little magnifying glass thing in a card I had gotten ages ago. All right, here I've got the little ironing tips that go on your fingers. I've got a little pair of scissors. Another pen. Here we go. This is important. I've got sewing machine needles. All kinds of sewing machine needles. You want different sizes. Heavy, light, medium. Here is a little rubbery thing you can stick on your fingers so you can get better grip. Here is a tiny little seam ripper, and this end is rubbery, so it pulls out the old stitches. I've got my handy dandy thimble. Another one of these magnifying glasses. Some little thimble pads. Okay. And then Band-Aids, plenty of Band-Aids. And here I have assortments of hand needles. So, does that kind of give you an idea of what kind of things I take to classes? This is my thought. I'd rather have it and not use it than need it and not have it. That scares me. So, okay, I'm going to get ready and dump this stuff back in except for just a couple things. And then I'll show you on the list. Oh, also, when I go to classes, I take one of these. I've learned from going to a class and not having it. I'm going to take, I took these bobbins and then hot glued these pen cushions on them. I love taking them to classes because there's not a lot of table space. And this sits up so you can see it. It doesn't get lost in the junk. So, okay, I'll save this out here. Put this in, put my sewing, because looks like I'm doing pretty good. Looks, and you know, my this to cut when you're doing chain piecing, to cut that. All right, so I just don't need all those different threads. I will end up putting one more gray and one more tan, even though I've got 10. I'm always worried I'll run out. But, okay, and I'll organize this later. Right now, I just wanted to show y'all. So, I'm just going to look over here. Oops. I'll look over here, make sure that there wasn't something important that I needed in here. I think I've got, oh, you know, no, I'm going to take, it is good, take one of your nice pair of shears. These are my newest, and I love the easy to use. They're lightweight, and you only work your have to do work one way. I'm taking these, so I'll put those in there. All right, so now that is packed. Thank you for letting me pack while I was talking. But that is so important. Anything you can possibly think of using, you pack it now, because it's horrible getting there and not having what you need. Okay. So now I was going to show you what does it look like to get a class list. So here we go. Here is the supply list that was given, that I printed off of the web for this class. So you see here it says the quick curve ruler, and then it says Urban 9-patch pattern, straight stitch sewing machine. Now that doesn't mean it can't do zigzags, but it has to be able to just do the straight stitches. Then a mat around 12 by 12 or bigger, and I have a 12 by 18 I'm going to take with me, and I also have a 12 by 12 spinning mat. Oh, my Band-Aids were in the outside little pocket of that bag. So there was a little paper covered. Then she wants us to get a piecing thread, an iron to share, and basic sewing supplies. So when you go to a class, there should be a supply list that comes out with each of your classes. Read it carefully. Now, luckily at the Myrtle Beach quilt party, there is a special vendor, Schoolhouse Quilts. She's a dear, dear lady right here in North Carolina. She goes over every class's supply list and takes what they need. And that way, if somebody's forgotten, and there was one other thing, let me put these threads away since I know I don't have to take these. I'll get those out of the way. So I still need to wind my bobbins and take, you know, all the bobbins pre-wound. And I will take this little cutting mat to do any little trimming up I have to do. Okay, now I'm going to pull my two-toe forward and show you. I have a two-toe that I found on eBay or the sewing site that is now on Groups.io. And so I got this two-toe for half price. I love it. I love it. It's a big one. So here is my 12-inch mat, and this spins. So that's easy to take. Then, because I have hot flashes, and probably always will, I've got a little electric fan. It's wonderful. And Mark bought this for me a few months ago before the retreat. And so it does all kinds of different angles, 2 speeds, and I just wrap the cord around, Keep that neat. All right. Then I always bring my own plug strip. You never know. You never know. And never trust that a site's going to meet all your electric needs. Come prepared. Then I have an extra one of these stands to hold the pattern. Really great, because you don't have table room to lay it there. Now, the first thing that goes in my sewing machine carrier, let me show you. Oh, I haven't really, my other magnet for that. Okay, I've got my sewing machine in here, but the first thing that I put in here, and watch it not be in here, because this has still just kind of been packed up since before. You know what? I don't know if they're here. Let me see. They better be. Yes. The first thing that you put in this sewing machine case is your foot pedal and your cord. Do not put your sewing machine in until the foot pedal and cord are in there, because without them, your sewing machine is useless. Now okay, here's my foot pedal. Here's my foot pedal, and here's my cord. So that goes in before anything else is. Then I'm taking my little table that came with my machine. And you know, this is my favorite machine of all, and I only paid $700 for it, or $750, and I love it dearly. Here is a bigger mat for class. I take one longer ruler just in case. I take this sewing machine table. Luckily, the feet are built in. I'm going to take my woolen mat, and these are easy and cheap to buy. It's this little rubbery shelf liner. I put it in there for my foot pedal so I don't have to chase it all under the table. So that is in there. Then in this pocket over here is my traveling ironing board. And I made this out of a scrap of wood. I put the shelf liner on the back, covered it up. And this goes in the pocket over here. I put a fabric handle on the end. This is the bag I made for, and it's got that special bright insulation for the heat, and a silicone pad so that when you first start to put your iron in it, you put it on the silicone and it won't burn through the bag. So this is my little travel iron I'm taking. So that, and then I do need to put a lamp in here. I've got a lamp over there I'll put in. And now this is ready to go. So thank you. I needed to clean that out, just make sure I had it ready. And so now this will be ready to go, so I can push that out of the way. But, all right. So I took out this pin cushion because it's just redundant right now. I'm trying not to overpack because, you know, I have to lift it in and out of the car, and I have to haul it all around. And I don't need this thing because I put the table around it. So put that out of the way. All right. So then, besides the two-toe, do you see those black tables right there? I take the black table, and let me show you over here. I don't know if you can see the little red wagon hanging on the wall, and all of that, this and my bags of fabric and the tray tables will fit in the little red wagon. So I pull the little red wagon, and then I pull the two-toe. And sometimes I'll tie the two-toe to the little red wagon. So it just looks like I'm hauling two things behind me, and off I go to class. And like I told you before, I have a folder that all my paperwork for my classes, the schedule of events, Everything is going to go in there. This ruler will go in the bag with my fabrics for that particular class. So that will, everything is going to be together. Everything for that one class, boom. I grab a bag, I go. I don't even have to think about it. Because when you get to the classes, there's people walking and talking, and you have to check into the hotel. You have to get your stuff over to the area. You've got to register in time. And what I do, make it as simple as possible. Because, I'm not as young as I used to be. And it can get very overwhelming. So I'll make sure I have all of my instructions, and that as soon as I get the class, the confirmation that yes, I'm getting that class, I immediately go and buy whatever patterns or anything I need for it. But this has all of my information. So let's move over. So now you know that I still have to finish up. I have to cut the other fabrics, and luckily, shouldn't be too hard. It shouldn't be too hard. They're fat quarters, easy to manage. I'll stack them up with a brand new blade and cut them at once. So any questions? The machine I take is my Juki, and I think it's like 700 something. It's not as heavy as this Elna, and it's made more portable. It has wonderful lighting. It has the automatic thread cutter. It has needle down position. The one thing I didn't want to get, now this, people can sit and discuss, what kind of machine do I want for class? I want the machine that has most of the features that my home one does. I don't want it to be as heavy as my home one. And another thing, I don't spend over $1,000 for a machine because I'm on a budget. And I don't want to feel beholden to a machine. You know what I mean? So I don't want to feel like I have to make money to justify it. Now, that's my opinion. People do whatever you want to do. I was talking to the salesman from CarMax yesterday. His wife is a quilter. He was talking about how expensive machines were. And I said, yeah, the last one I saw, the newest machine that had come out, was $14,000. Now, if you've got that money, good for you. If that's really something you want to do, good for you. But for me, I bought that Juki. It has everything, it's really nice. But it's not over the top. And I bought it from a woman who bought it and hardly ever used it. So I got it for almost half price at $750. I'm so happy with that thing. I love that machine. So, now let me see. So anyway, I write lists, copious lists. Now I'm going where we used to go. They had it was like a little 1-bedroom apartment, and I could cook if I wanted to, whatever. I find I don't like going out to the restaurants after I've been in a class all day. I'm exhausted. I walk. I don't drive to the classes. I make myself walk, and it's a long walk back and forth. So what I do is I got him to get me a hunk of turkey ham, and I'm going to make a ham and pasta salad and put peas in it so I'll have a vegetable. And he got me a bag of ready-made salad. I'll take some salad dressing, and I'll pretty much eat that most of the week until I get tired and decide I'm going to go out for something else. And then I take yogurts and different things I can have for lunch. I'm going to take a cooler and keep my stuff in. There's a little like dorm fridge and a microwave. So what I do is try to take, and like I'll keep bottles. I take bottled water. I don't like the way water tastes when you go to different places. So I do carry bottled water. And so he went today somewhere. I didn't bring them down yet, but I have some groceries that I take. And I get a nice sturdy tote, so everything has handles, and try to carry it in. So Mark helps me load the car up. Then when I get there, I'm on my own. And when I pack up to leave, I'm on my own. So everything, I have this tote out to show you. I love this because Mark brings these home from work because he works for Pepsi. And so this is real nice. It's waterproof, lightweight. And I'll use different color totes. One color tote is for class. One color tote, and I'll have a tote for each class. So when I pick up to go to the class, I'm not rifling through anything. one tote for each class, a tote for my food. I have a backpack for my personal stuff, my computer bag. I have the two-toe and my sewing supplies. Everything has to be contained. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Everything has to be in something. And I don't want a million bags. Well, I drive to the hotel, but I go from my room building to the conference building by foot, because I'm not going to, I leave the cars for the people who really need that. I mean, the parking spaces, and there are some people who live close by and they need to be able to come park. So I walk. But yeah, all my stuff will be in my room. And although Wednesday when I register, you can take your machine and sewing supplies to your classroom. So when I go over to register, I will take all my sewing machine out, my basic stuff for my first class, and I'll go to find that sewing room and I'll set it up in there, and then that gets locked, and then I'll go back to my hotel room. But during the day, when I go back to the hotel room for lunch, when I go back in the evening and back and forth, I walk. And that's always a good thing for me. I come back in better shape than when I went. So are there any other questions? But the hotel and conference, they're in the same big place, but it's more than a quarter mile between, because it's a resort. So, and it's an older one that they've upgraded. It's a Hilton. And so the hotel building is by itself, and then the conference building is by itself. And, but it's nice. It's right there on the beach. And I plan to try to relax a little bit. Walking is so good. I don't do enough of it. And so this is going to be good for me. But I am organized. I have friends who won't go someplace alone. They say, you drive it and do it all yourself? Yes, but I'm organized. What I mean is, and I do carry around mace, hot pepper spray. I do. But I've never had a problem. I never even thought I had to use it. But I will get there early enough in the day that I'm not driving at night. I will get there early enough in the day that I go ahead and register in and find my room. And I don't like people helping unload my car. I like doing it myself, because then I can take my time and do it orderly. But I will drive up the right level that lets off kind of near the room, and then load all my stuff. And I use that wagon to bring in, and I load the wagon up with my suitcase and backpack and all that kind of stuff, get it into the room, leaving the car locked. And then I come back, I just make my trips and go back and forth. And so if you're smart, you're perfectly safe. And I kind of just like doing things on my own. And I enjoy going by myself and having some down quiet time. So I love telling you this, because I want you to kind of know what to expect and what it'll be like. I hate going to find an ice machine and all that stuff. So I try to take everything with me that'll hold me the first 24 hours. I pack a lot of ice in the cooler, and I pack it in a bag so I can put it into the fridge in the room so I can use it for my water, because I drink water 90% of the time. So anyway, I usually get a room with 2 beds. One bed has all my stuff. The other bed I sleep in. I always lay out my clothes the night before. I try to if I have to wash my hair, I do it the night before, because it's just too much the morning you have to be at class early. So yeah, I love my own time, my own space, and it's wonderful. And when I bring the ham salad, in a Ziploc bag, I bring paper plates, napkins, forks, salt, pepper. I come. Being a camper, it's easy for me to pack up what I need. And so I come back to the room, I sit on the bed, turn on something fun, open the door to hear the ocean, and then I put my food on my paper plate, and then I throw it away. And another thing is I'll bring extra trash bags, because I don't like, the plates sitting in the room after I've used them. So often I'll just put it in a little Walmart bag, drop it in the trash can down the hall when I go. So I think I think I've kind of covered everything. I bring my computer, bring your chargers for anything you need. Um, Err on the side of overpacking. You can always put it keep it in your vehicle. I don't try to drive around with my stuff showing inside my vehicle. But usually it's not a problem. I mean, it's usually not a problem. So, I think I've covered how to go about packing. You have to make sure that you're at least 15 minutes early for class. You need every bit of that 15 minutes to set up all of your machine, your sewing supplies, and get ready. And the teacher needs to hit the ground running. So number one, be on time, be set up, and listen. When she talks, no chattering. As a teacher myself, it's so frustrating when people are having their own conversations and you're trying to teach the class. So please don't chatter. Save that for when the teacher's not talking. But hit the ground running, be on time, be ready to listen, pay attention to her so you don't have to ask her 50,000 times. I tend not to like too much teacher attention, so I sit in the back of the room because I like to do my own thing. And that works fine. And I don't get in anybody's way, and that way I can use my fan and I'm not bothering anybody. And then just take a break when you're supposed to. Some people like to stay in the room because they want to get the whole thing done. Well, that's fine, but I can't. I want to take time to relax. I'm going to take a bathing suit and find a pool. I think they have one, but if they have one, I'm going to go swimming. So, yep, I do not share a room. Never do. I always tell people, I snore. I do snore, but I like having my own room. So, but I take snacks, whatever I'm going to want. Now, some hotels have reasonable room service rates, but I find they can be expensive. Yeah, the machine I'm taking is my Juki, and that's not Michelle. I bought that one 3 years ago. You didn't know that the new one I've got. It's really nice. I find I keep everything together, put everything back. It's a time when you go to a class, just be organized because it makes it so much easier. And don't fall asleep out on the couch. Get in bed and get a good night's sleep. So, I love how Susan fills y'all in on everything. So are there any other kinds of questions? Oh, yeah, I make a list. I put underwears, bras, socks, I list it all. And it might seem like overkill, but then my brain doesn't have to get so tired. I don't have to keep it all. Medicines. Always pack 3 days extra of medicines. I went one time to this Myrtle Beach retreat, and they had a ice and snowstorm. The roads were closed. We had to stay an extra day. Thank God I had my medication. Packed 3 days of medication. Oh, you have is it a Genome? Oh, that is so cool. These hotels, I'm getting a water view room for 84 days. So when you go to an event, they'll have hotels that give you really good rates. So, and I'm going to try to stay an extra day if I want. I know. I'm like you, Susan. I'm a hermit in real life. That's why I love this group, because I come on and be all friendly, and then when I'm off, I get my mind and focus. And so, yes, Vicky. See, that's my biggest problem. Normally, I fall asleep at 2 and sleep till 10. That's not easy to do when you're taking classes. So I have to try to, don't drink any iced tea or anything with caffeine after dinner, because otherwise you're done. Oh, I love Genome. I used to love Genome until I got this Juki. So, but okay, I'm going to show you a few pictures. Anybody like to see my new car? I'll show you my new car. And then a couple other of you have a couple little pictures. We don't have that many, but let's go look at some photos. And then it's about time to say goodbye. But it's been so much fun seeing you. I need to go out, and the former owner of this car kind of stained the armrest, and I'm going to go scrub that. Okay, let me turn this around and get our photos, ladies. It was so nice to see you today. Okay, whoops. Okay, let's get down here and see. Now, somebody asked about my kitchen, so let me see if I can find, let me see if I can find the kitchen. I think that's in 1 second. And I am so sorry. I totally forgot about putting up the kitchen video. It's under my, hold on, guys. Okay. And let me see. Here are the base cabinets. And let me see. Go back. Now, this is not even the final video. The uppers and most of the new tile, but you still see some of the blue tile. But I promise I will put up the new video. I just totally forgot in this crazy, crazy week. Oh, here's just one. I don't know if I have all the backsplash. No, that's not far enough along. All right, so let me go to Bonnie has some things she got for Christmas, and Farmer's Wife book and lap quilts. Let me enlarge this. We love seeing that. I love the number of you who are doing the Farmer's Wife sampler. Way to go. And then Bonnie did a test quilt, and she is so good at that. And she tested it for Quilt Pattern Magazine. So proud of Miss Bonnie. Besides being the sweetest thing in the world and such a good elfkin, she's an amazing quilt tester too. And then Diana W., she was on the road and did this handwork pillow, which I admire a lot because I've sworn I would never do hexies. But boy, did she do a good job on that hexie pillow. Okay. We miss our Diane. We're thinking of you, hon. Oh, and she showed how that she did the pillowcase seam. I think that's what that is. But we're thinking of you and Marty, hon. All right. Now, let's see. Maureen. Oh, I just want to show you again. When I went to Pineapple Fabrics, I saw the whole Country Caboodle store, pattern shop. And she entered a contest and won. And look at all that they sent her. That is phenomenal. So way to go, Maureen. She sent them in, she entered her pictures of her Christmas quilt in their contest, and she won. All right. And I think there's really only mine left. Yep. So let's see. I just wanted to show you again. I'm just such a proud mama and nana. And there's my daughter, Becky, holding her nephew, my grandson, Russell. And love my girls. And here we go. Here is the new car. Good old Honda Odyssey. I tell you, sometimes I think you have to go out and shoot them to finally get rid of them because they just don't stop running on their own. I love how CarMax puts a big bow. Mark said, we don't get to keep the bow? Nope, don't get to keep the bow. There's me and my Russell. Oh, I love him. And I can't wait to have my new grandbaby later this year, probably in the fall. And here I am with the new car. As you could tell, I was a happy girl. I got my new used car. Love CarMax. I love that you go there. This is the car. This is the price. Now what? So I really, really am happy with it. And I'll try to take the best care of it I can. And then my Russell giving me a kiss. What a cute baby. So now with a better shaped vehicle, I hope to travel a little touch more. All right, guys. Well, thank you. Thank you for tuning in today. Y'all are always so amazing. And as usual, you lift me up and you make me a more productive and a better person than I would be without you. So I'm very, very fond of you. Any other questions? Okay. I will definitely show you how it packs up because that's good to know. I told Mark we could have spent a lot less money getting a sedan, but I can't fit things in to do these quilt shows. And I waited a long time and hoped that one day it would be my turn to be able to do this kind of thing. And it finally has come, and I want to be able to get there and be able to take everything I need to take. And a sedan, you can't put this stuff in a trunk. It's just too much. So anyway, but I'm crazy, but I forgot to bring them in. I'm going to tell you the next time we get together, I'm going to show you a man who makes my decals from my YouTube channel, Our Time to Quilt, for this channel. And he made me 4 nice big decals. So I get to go put them on the car too. So I might even put one on the two-toe, who knows, or the little traveling wagon. So thank you. I love all of y'all. Sedans are boring. Well, we can go to Lowe's and pick up a new toilet in this car. We can haul a 12-foot piece of lumber in this car, a bale of straw for the chickens in this car. Oh, and my cute little white hen, she got all broody. Mark says, I think she's sick. And he said, well, she looks okay, but she just keeps staying in the nesting box. I said, she's broody. It got warm. We even had a cherry tree bloom the other day. We went out and I said, that's a cherry tree blooming. So she got broody. But I love you all. Do something special for yourself. Have a great week. I will try to do a live stream sometime during the week. You're going to have to just check the site. I can't say for sure what will happen. The next landscape Thursday will be Thursday the 17th, I believe. No. The 20-something, but not this week. No landscape this week. But when we do have it, we're going to start with our collage birds. So I'm very excited. And, I forgot this real quick. Forgot this. Whoops. Hold on, guys. This, I thought maybe if I put up a winter January Bargello, maybe winter would come back. I don't know. But that is our January Bargello. So have a good week. Pat, I will contact you. I love seeing all of you ladies. You are the best. Have a great week. Do something pardon me for the hiccups. Do something just for yourself this week, okay? Take good care of yourself till I see you the next time. Bye-bye, guys. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Susan, so much. I love you the best. So thank you. Oh, Polly is here. Hello, Polly Thompson. Oh, thank you. It's so easy to do. I will have to do one on here sometime. All right. Take care. Broody means she wants to have baby chickens, which is not possible. There's no rooster. Hadn't been a rooster for 2 years, but y'all take good care. Bye-bye, guys. Next time I'll have Kiwi down here. See you later. Mwah. Y'all are the best. Y'all are the best. Sow something good this week. Mwah. Bye-bye.